Sai Ram, we will now read chapter 23, the introduction. In reality, this jiva transcends the three qualities, which are sattva, rajas, and tamas. But being deluded by Maya, he forgets his nature, which is pure consciousness, knowledge, bliss, Satchidananda, and thinks that he is the doer, and thus entangles himself in endless miseries and does not know the way of deliverance. The only way of deliverance is the loving devotion towards the Guru's feet. The great player or actor, Lord Sai, has delighted his bhaktas and transformed them into himself, which is his nature. We regard Sai Baba as an incarnation of God for reasons already stated, but he always said that he was an obedient servant of God. Though an incarnation, he showed people the way to behave satisfactorily and to carry out the duties of their respective stations in this life. He never emulated others in any way, nor asked others to have something done for him. For him who saw the God in all movable and immovable things of this world, humility was the virtue. None he disregarded nor disrespected, for he saw Narayan in all beings. He never said, I am God, but that he was a humble servant, and he always remembered him and always uttered Allah Malik. We do not know the various kinds of saints, how they behave, what they do, etc. We only know that by God's grace they manifest themselves in this world to liberate the ignorant and bound souls. If there be any store of merits in our account, we get a desire or interest in listening to the stories and leelas of saints, otherwise do not. Let us now turn to the main stories of this chapter. The first story is Yoga and Onion. Once it so happened that a sadhak of yoga came to Shirdi with Nana Sahib Chandorkar. He had studied all the works of yoga, including the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, but had no practical experience. He could not concentrate his mind and attain samadhi even for a short time. He thought that if Baba will be pleased with him, he will show him the way of attaining samadhi for a longer time. With this object in view, he came to Shirdi and he went to see the masjid where he saw Sai Baba eating chapati with onion. On seeing this, a thought crossed his mind. How can this man eating stale bread with raw onion solve my difficulties and help me? Baba read his mind and said to Nana Sahib, O Nana, he who has the power to digest onion should eat it and no one else. Hearing this remark, the yogi was wonderstruck and he fell at Baba's feet. With a pure and open mind, he asked his difficulties and got their solution from Baba. Thus, being satisfied and happy, he left Shirdi with Baba's udi and blessings. Sai Ram. So इस चैप्टर में हमें सुनने को मिलता है, सिर्फ इंट्रोडक्शन में ही हमें सुनने को मिलता है, हमें जानने को मिलता है कि हम सच्चिदानंद हैं. In the introduction itself, we get to hear that we are pure consciousness, knowledge and bliss itself. We are pure Satchidanand, but deluded by Maya, fluctuations, desires, and Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. We forget that. We get entangled in identities and egos, personalities, and the only way of deliverance, of salvation, is by surrendering to the Guru's feet. And in this, it is so beautiful to see that how Baba was an avatar of God himself, how God himself, pure consciousness itself, descends in the form of a Guru, of a Satguru, to free us. And yet Baba never said that I am God. He always said that God is doing everything, Allah Malik. He gave all the credit to Allah and to Masjid Mai. This shows something very important about who a true Guru is. He or she are not attention seeking and credit seeking. This must help us differentiate between people who are teachers, masters, and a true Guru, a true avatar. And the story of the onion and the yogi also that comes, it again shows us a message that we have heard many times before in the Satcharitra, कि योग करने से, साधना करने से ब्रह्म और समाधि मिलना ज़रूरी नहीं है. It is not necessary that just because you are practicing XYZ techniques, you will get samadhi even for a short term. But surrendering to the Guru's feet, That is the final act of committing to your salvation. Baba knew what this man was thinking without saying anything, and it showed that a guru is antaryami. He is omnipresent, he is present in all your cells, and trusting him, surrendering to him when he shows you who he is sufficient. So may we have the wisdom and the darshan of understanding who our Sadguru is and completely surrendering to his feet. May that be our prayer for ourselves and others. We will continue the reading in the next video. Sai Ram.